Yoo-hoo! I'm not sure if the camera angle is perfect. I'm just changing it. Hello, my name is Tapish, and today let's talk about money or a story related to money. So, I belong to extremely middle class family. On my roots, like everyone verbally or non-verbally used to say, talking about money is bad. We should not talk about money. So that came in my house surrounding or the places where I was living, where mostly elders used to deal with all the financial situations and options, and then kids were being unknown to it. As a teenager, you just get a certain amount of money, and then you are uh, being forced to manage it yourself and learn yourself, explore yourself how things either go north or south. Anything can happen. For me, it definitely went south. I was extremely poor at money management. So, with all experiences, my point of view or my point of view currently is that to our next generation or our kids, children, I'm not sure I should use the word children. Okay, but yeah, to our next generation, uh, we should encourage to talk more about money. Let that be hard negotiations, let that be how the money works, where they should invest in, or what they should do with their money. Do saving is important or not? And how are you going to earn? Or is there a right or wrong way of earning? Which way to follow, which way not to follow? Or what will be the consequences if you follow the wrong way as well? Or what will be the benefits as well? Whatever means, we should talk more and more about all these subjects to the next generation, while our generations mostly means our generations learn not to talk about money, not to talk about figures too. And this pratha, what we say, custom is being followed again and again, where we don't talk about numbers. So the unknown person does not know even the range what the person is being offered is the right value for him or not. I would tell you the first ever exposure of money, and probably more stories about the money, or my experiences with them will keep on coming on this channel. So kindly subscribe. So this happened when in year 2013 I came to Australia. It took me a very long time to secure my first job, and the basic information was given that in 2013 in Australia, currently it should be more, but at that time $18 an hour was a fair pay. Means the baseline that anyone giving you money less than $18 an hour is like exploiting you. So that point was good. I thought, okay, this is a baseline I can think about wherever I'm applying, wherever I'm trying to get that job. It should be at least $18. Now the money is more, and based on the year you're watching this video, would be certainly high. Please refer to the government guidelines. Uh, Second thing was restriction of hours. So when you're on student visa, you're only allowed 20 hours a week, and then rest of the time you're allowed more. But the thing is, hypothetically, you will make calculations. Oh, 20 hours a week, I'll earn this much, multiplying by 18 or 20. But hypothetically, whatever you think does not work out in real life. In real life, you have to find out which are the available hours, or where you want to work, that kind of stuff. Or so getting back to the story, uh, I got this first job through a reference of another friend, and okay, that time friend, now not a friend. So yeah, so through a reference of a friend, and what happened was, the first job which was given to me, it ticked all the boxes when I was looking through it, and while it ticked all the boxes, I was also being screwed, which is a matter to discuss. So I went to Hotel Oxygen at Spring Hill in Brisbane City, and the Oxygen gave the contract to a subcontractor. Sorry, gave a contract to a contractor, and that contractor gave the contract to a subcontractor. So definitely, I won't take the negative names, but yeah, the chain of command follows that way, and there will always commissions involved. So at the baseline, I was extremely at the baseline. I joined as a person who just delivered goods to different rooms in the Oxygen hotel and sometimes do the housekeeping work. And the pay was like $18 an hour, 18.5 actually. And I was very grateful that the first job I secured that baseline thingy. But there was a twist which I realized later on, because we don't know how to negotiate and what are the terms and conditions when you sign up for anything. We are completely new. So after joining, after few weeks of work, not few weeks, few days of work, when finally the pay came, first time having that $600 in your account, you feel, yeah, you have done something. But the way the hours were calculated, that was the catch there. So each room was divided into minutes. Uh, Means, let that this room gets 15 minutes, other room gets 20 minutes, and then uh, you have to go there. Sometimes it takes 15 minutes, sometimes it takes half an hour to do that complete room, or arrange all the facilities what are required to that. And like, we are fan of cricketers, don't want to what to say, hear anything against them, but the room of cricketers is extremely messy. Like, the professionalism they show at ground does not show in the rooms. So like, extreme messy. They don't keep their rooms properly. So while cleaning people's room, housekeeping, that was the toughest job. So the allotment of 15 to 20 minutes used to sometimes cross 1.5 hours if the cricketers are there, and if there any matches are there in GABA or other stuff. Uh, so we used to go as a team, so that 15 minutes were divided, if we are giving a 3-man squad or 3 people squad. So the 15 minutes were divided into 5 minutes each, so that you complete more rooms, that kind of stuff, like a corporate cycle. And at the end of the day, the number of rooms you did were calculated, and the time which was divided, like 15 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and then overall sum up to, on paper, 20 hours a week. So on paper, definitely I used to get like 20 hours a week, but literally I used to spend like uh, approximately double the amount of time which was written on the paper. And legally, I cannot go against it, because the system was being followed, that you are working under 20 hours a week and you are getting paid more than $18. But uh, here you cannot even question the efficiency, because even if you learn stuff and then your efficiency grows, still the amount of time which was allotted to you, means if you are more expert, then less time would be allotted to you, to the rooms, means the standard would decrease. Means the standard of keeping that room as a 15 minutes allotment, that will decrease to 10 minutes if you are more efficient, and if you are more, what to say, more skillful kind of stuff. So it was just kind of exploitation in a bubble wrap. Means, inside the things were different and they were sugar coated outside. I did not know for a long time. I worked for probably 6 months there. And while comparing this with other peers, and that time, uh, you get a judgment that you are being screwed. Uh, the day that job ended, I was the happiest person, because that time my mind was blocked that there is a uni to attend and there is job to attend. So only those two patterns have to be followed. So overall, I would say that informed judgment, talking about money and talking about peers, that what are their pay scales. So like, few of my friends were working at the famous food joints, and they were getting $24 an hour at that time, though the basic was 18. But then, uh, that was on TFN, and TFN and ABN, that's also a different concept which other YouTubers might be telling you about in Australia. It's like in India, how we have a PAN card, and then how we run a business. So business is like ABN, and the PAN card where the taxation goes, it's like TFN. But other people can guide you better in that case. But like, not having that information and not able to negotiate and confront, means even after getting less money, I was not in a position to go and confront that person who's paying me less, that this is wrong, what I'm doing is wrong. Even as a group, we were not able to go there and confront that this pattern is wrong. So overall, that is because the things what we learn. And in Australia, we have a local saying that desi screws desis. uh, like the more exploitation happens for the people or by the people you already know or are in community with. So therefore, that's a famous saying ki desi desi ki marta hai, like desi screws desi. And there are several different versions of this phrase. So that happens, and it happens again and again. People work for $12 in 2020. They work for $12 an hour as a cash in hand job. So that's really bad. Hopefully, because of this COVID situation, the demand of workers were high, and there were less people working here. So therefore, everyone was kind enough to give more money, or what to say, they were easy enough to find jobs nowadays. But yeah, uh, I'm glad that the new youth which is coming is more informed than what we were before. But that's the condition to be followed, or that's the, in my experience, I would just like to say that teach the next generation how to negotiate properly, how to say that this is the right amount, this is not the right amount. I won't work for this less money. That bravery should be there. I did not have it. I'm still learning. So let's see how it goes. See you in the next video or next live, whichever is earlier. Ciao.